Hello, 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 and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here in the Paul Ricard circuit in France, and it is the GT3 drivers that are out on track first for our round 6 champions. Can be made here today for the second time ever in Le Mans, and it should be an absolute scorcher under the sunshine here in France, and it is Arthur Woods that is out on track and leading the way at the moment. So how are we all? I hope we're all well. I was looking to try and use some overlays tonight. Unfortunately, they're not working again, and I don't have a clue why. They should have worked, but they're not working, and I tried them. I tried them as well, and they were working. I did a trial run, and they were working, but unfortunately they're not working now. But yes, here we are. Yo, what's going on, Dan Quinn? How we doing? So we're on board with Arthur Woods. Let's get the track map up. That's what we need. Sorry if you're hearing that tapping. Here we go. We are coming racing. Is that the right track? So we are on board with Arthur Woods. I'm not sure. There we go. He's just started his lap, and he's on his way down. 1 minute. Let me. This is not going to work. Bear with me, guys. I need to try and put it on a split screen or something. Bear with me, guys. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. I'm nearly there. Don't worry. So we're on board with Arthur Woods. He's a 30.0 through Sector 1. That is the fastest so far as he heads down the long straight towards Turn 8. And we are going to see so much overtaking down this straight this evening. Yeah, no worries, Dan. All good, mate. I hope you did well. My son's going through his GCSEs at the moment, so... And so down in towards Turn 9 at the right-hander around this beautiful French circuit. On board with the Porsche of Arthur Woods. We do have a couple of vacant seats. If you are looking to reserve, get in right now. Use the lobby code. We have taken it away from SimGrid, so you should be able to jump in. So down in towards turn 12 we go. And then in towards the final chicane at turn 13. And on board with Arthur Woods. He's back onto the throttle and down the pitch straight. Towards the checkered flag we go. And he will set the benchmark. He had a slow sector 2 though, Arthur Woods. He will go provisional pole, but Mael Castro comes through. Noah Schaefer as well in that BMW M4 with the same livery as well. Arnie Brandhorst will come through in that beautiful zebra striped Porsche, but nobody close to Mael Castro at the moment. Kevin Estre, Richard Hubler in the Ferrari coming down to the checkered flag. He will go up to P3. And then Macau Hotch comes through in that overtake leukemia livery on that Ford Mustang. And then a beautiful livery just behind him. That's another 7 car of Marek Odlos. And he's running a new livery here this evening. And that is a fantastic livery. A very nice livery for Marek. And Kevin Estre with that purple M4, and then Jamie Brash usually running the red and white, but he's running the yellow and black here this evening, the HyperX livery with that Scottish flag on the back and the F7R livery on the top of it. That's what we like to see. Very nice from Jamie Brass. And his own custom livery on that BMW, so he's currently at the back. Alexandra Girot in the Lexus coming down in towards turn 12. So on his debut in that Lexus just looks so fierce, doesn't it? It looks so fierce and competitive. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do this evening. I'm just making sure we can hear the audio of the cars. Let me know if I need to turn it up, guys. Maybe do need to turn it up slightly, don't we? So it is Mael Castro that is currently fastest of the GT3 cars. This is before the hypercars get out on track. It is always good to see what the sort of pace is looking like between the drivers. If you are looking to join, just get the lobby code and get in. Noah Schaefer goes up to P2. Only 1.5 tenths behind Mael Castro. Arnie Brandhorst sets another lap. He goes up to P3. Kevin SJ, Marin Kitagawa. Look at that for a livery. That's different. Looks like money bags all over that. But it's just the green, white, and a sliver of orange. And then Alexandre in that Lexus going up to P8. And then you've got Tim Schaub and Marco Roesse. Marco Roesse on his debut in the Porsche with the zebra stripes as well. In that boxer livery, he goes up to P8. Tim Schaap, Jamie Brass, 13 GT3 drivers, 9 hypercar drivers. I think 8 actually. If you are looking to race, guys, come and jump in. We are live on TikTok and Twitch. So come and make the most of it. I will throw the lobby code in the chats as well. So the lobby code WCXOE. WCXOE. So Noah Schaefer, Marco Roesse, and then Marek with that Titan Core livery draped over the Ferrari. And Richard Hubler in the other Ferrari. Let's see what he can do. Remember, 15 minutes for the GT3s and then 15 minutes for the hypercars. Who will prevail to start this French race here at the Paul Ricard Circuit 1A? Tim Schaap in the Mercedes AMG. So 6 minutes remaining for qualifying. And we need the... let me know, guys, if the audio's okay, because I can't listen to it. So let me know if the audio's okay. Look how close Noah Schaefer is. And he's in the green as he comes down the straight towards turn A. A huge straight. And as we ride on board with him, you can just see... Audio sounds good, brilliant. Cheers, Ryan. So down in towards turn 8, just hugging the apex to the right-hand side in 5th gear. He is slightly up on his lap time. That's what you want to see, though. I wonder why the overlays. I did a trial run with the overlays and they worked, and now they're not working. So Noah Schaefer is still improving. Remember, he only needs to find 2 tenths of a second to take provisional pole. Can he find it? And he's got a driver in front of him who's not getting out of the way. Did he get out of the way? No, he lost the time. He comes out of the final corner and he's not going to improve. He's actually going to lose time. It only cost him around half a tenth, but that half a tenth was critical. So Arnie is not on a lap at the moment. Macau Hotch in the Ford Mustang. He's a tenth and a half down. Can he find that? Coming through the final couple of corners. He went a little bit deep, but he's in the green. Gets a better exit, but he is 1.9 behind pole, so this is not going to make a difference. Then comes Marek, who is down on his lap time in that Ferrari. And then the number 3 car of Arnie, who is just getting ready for his final run. I hope not, Marcel. I hope not. So the number 9 car of Marin Kitagawa is not on a lap just yet. Marco Roesi is just behind him and he's a second up. This is going to put him around the time of Jamie Brass. No, he's losing time. He's losing it. Coming out of the final corner, down towards the line we go. And Marco Roesi does improve, but only to P9. Here comes Kevin Estre into the pit lane. That might be it for Kevin Estre with 4 minutes of qualifying to go. I don't think he's going to find any more unless he can get back out. What about Richard Hubler? He is improving, 4 tenths up. And he needs to find around a second to get in front of Marek. Well, about 8 tenths down to the checkered flag. And Richard Hubler in the Ferrari will stay P12 for now. Tim Sharp in that Mercedes AMG is also on a lap. Then you've got Alexandra Girot. And he is in P7 in that Lexus as he gets out of the way. And the 2 BMWs, look at that, synchronised. Coming down, he's getting a blue flag. And here comes Noah Schaefer for his final run. He's got that Lexus in front of him, giving him a little bit of a tow. Down towards turn 1, you've got Mael Castro just in front of him. And these are where we hit the pinnacle of the GT3s. So out of turn 7, and then he is down that long straight where I expect to see some brilliant racing here this evening, but we shall see. What's going on, Solar? And look at these two just flashing each other, but it is Mael Castro with 2 minutes to go. I do wonder if any of the other drivers are joining. We have got the new multi-class starting on Thursday as well. I think it's Thursday, I'm not sure. I think it was supposed to be delayed, but we ended up getting a full grid, but a full grid on sim grid means nothing. So Mael Castro, a 1.5 tenths up, 2 tenths up. No, he's losing a little bit of time, but that is just at the exit, and he's through it all the way. Mael Castro, what about Noah Schaefer? He's down on his lap time, but they are going to make it to the line for one more run. And this is it. They're not going to get any more chances. This is their final opportunity to take pole. What about Tim Sharp? To the line we go, and he goes in front of Marek. And up to P12 for Tim Sharp. You've got Jamie Brass that did make it to the line. And we do have Macau Hodge, who is also going to get one final run. We have a minute to go. And car number 13 of Marek is possibly going to get another run as well. Arnie Brandhorst is 2 tenths down, so he is pushing. Can he get a better sector 3? So here we go through the final couple of corners, and then it's a short run up to the line, and he's not going to find that improvement. Round he goes, and it slips off into the distance and back into the pit lane. And then we have Noah Schaefer and Mael Castro. Mael Castro is 4 tenths down. What about Noah Schaefer? Can he improve? And you can see the BMW and the Lexus in the background that are racing. That is, was that, I thought it was Marco, but I think it is Alexandra Girot. It is the Lexus and the BMW. That is Kevin Estre. And Alexandra Girot is improving massively, so it says anyway. But he's being held up by Kevin Estre. And Alexandra will not be happy about this. Mael Castro is down on his lap time. Noah Schaefer, remember Noah Schaefer can improve down through the couple of corners at the end. So out of the final corner, and he's not going to improve. He is still in the red, so it looks like Mael Castro will stay where he is. And that is into the pit lane goes Alexandra Girot. Kevin Estre is also in the pit lane, so he held up, I think, Alexandra, and he also went into the pit lane. So that is it for the GT3 cars. Mael Castro takes pole, and Marin Kitagawa goes up to, where did he just go? Somebody improved. And the number 4 car, and Macau Hodge is still finding the green, but he's got to find around a second, and there he goes, he loses it all. So to the line, and the number 12 car of Marin Kitagawa will be the final GT3 to settle up. So the hypercars have escaped the garage. On their way to the track we go. And we are on board with Marin at the moment. Even if he improves by a couple of attempts, he could possibly improve his race position. So this will be interesting. He's 3 attempts up. And it dwindles away for Marin Kitagawa. Look how much he gets it back though. This is going to be extremely close. Can he improve his position? He doesn't. He loses it all out of the final corner. Wow. So he stays P12. The hypercars are out. Josh Harper-Jones, Ryan Clemenson. Ryan Clemenson will lead the way. Simon Klink just behind him. Look at that. Is that like a... what livery is that? It looks very much Abu Dhabi-esque. Or sort of Italian, I'm not sure. And look at this. They're all queuing up. And I tell you what, they're not leaving each other a lot of room. The Lamborghini hypercar. And both of these drivers... Lucas Rajinski is coming round. Thomas Buter with that beautiful livery. Marcel Fuchs. So it is Ryan Clemenson. It is Mika and Simon Klink that are very close on track. Who will take the fastest banker? We're about to see. And 27.7 for Mika. 27.8 for Clemenson. 28.3 for Simon Klink. 27.1 for Richard. So he has gone fastest so far. Richard in the hypercar. I think it's the Genesis that he's riding there. And he is fastest through Sector 1. Ryan Clemenson is fastest through Sector 2 at the moment with that Shell livery. What about Richard? And he's fastest again through Sector 2. 2 tenths quicker than Ryan Clemenson. And he is arriving here, Richard. He is lighting up the circuit with purple sectors. And I tell you what, Thomas Buter went quick in that first sector as well. Josh Harper-Jones, 27.3, quickest of anybody bar Richard. Ryan Clemenson will come around the final corner and down to the line. And Ryan Clemenson will set the benchmark, but I'm sure it will be swiftly beaten. Mika, Simon Klink to the line. We're waiting on Richard. And Richard does come through 8 tenths quicker than Ryan Clemenson. What a lap from him. Lucas Rajinski up to P5. And then we have the number 7 of Thomas Buter, who is also putting on a decent display in the Peugeot. Down to the checkered flag. Thomas Buter goes up to P3. Josh Harper-Jones and Marcel Fuchs. Marcel Fuchs will be first. So Marcel and Josh will come through. Josh in the All Blacks. And Josh takes P2. 4 attempts behind Richard. Marcel Fuchs down in P8 for now. In that Aston Martin hypercar. But they will all go again. And I'm sure Ryan Clemenson. And look at this now. Ryan Clemenson finding the sweet spot. Finding the purple sectors. Ryan Clemenson, the British driver, in his bid against the Slovakian of Richard Tisiak. I don't know how you would pronounce that. He has told me, but I do apologise. Richard Tysiak. Or Tysiak. Tysiak. Ryan Clemenson takes provisional pole. Richard in P2. Micah in P3. Josh Harper-Jones. Thomas Buter with that very nice livery. Very Slovakian-esque livery. We love to see it. Titan Core Racing draped over this WEC hypercar. And he is 2 seconds up. And Thomas Buter might go in front of Josh Harper-Jones. Let's see. He does. And in front of Micah as well by 48 1,000ths of a second. Thomas Buter is arriving here at the Paul Ricard circuit. Richard is still in P2. Ryan Clemenson bidding to win the championship of this weekly multi-class racing that has been a huge success since joining Formula 7 racing. Since opening this tier, it has been nothing but strength to strength. What is the fastest car in LMU? I'm not actually sure, to be honest, mate. I don't race it. I just commentate on it. Probably the Genesis hypercar, I think. Or the Peugeot hypercar. So, let me just shut the door, guys. So. We are looking to get into iRacing, but it needs to make sense for us to do it because it's so time consuming. Because every time we do something, right? Every time that we do something like a new event and stuff like that, we don't just go, okay, we're going to open a new tier and let's all go racing. It needs to be good. It needs to, you know, it needs to be well run, well managed. It needs to be well thought out. It needs to have stewards and admins and league directors. It needs to be. It's Formula 7. We're representing Formula 7. So when we rush into things, I've seen it happen with loads of leagues where they'll just open loads of tiers with loads of events, and it's just not. You lose the community feel by doing that. Yeah, Emmanuel, it's something that I would like to get into eventually, but I don't want to go too quickly. I want to make sure that we don't lose the sense of home for sim racers. So Ryan Clemenson is still improving as he comes down towards the line, and the championship leader extends his gap at the top by 1.1 seconds. And Josh Harper-Jones is on a lap, and so is Lucas Rajinski, and he is a 10th up. He could potentially go in front of Richard here. And down to the line. And Lucas goes up to P3. What a lap from Lucas. When did you open up the LMU tier? Solar about 3 months ago, something like that. So, remember, we have the GT3 cars have already qualified. They had their 15 minutes of fame. Now it's the hypercars. And they've got 5 minutes remaining. Josh Harper-Jones is into the pit lane. Richard is 4 tenths up as he comes down the long straight towards turn 8, where we'll see so much action here this evening. Yeah, Ryan's really strong. So, let's see if they can find the improvement. Yeah, Emmanuel, I've just had to buy the Elms pack to do commentary for this race. So, Marcel Fuchs is 2 tenths behind Simon Klink in the hypercar. Can any of them find a little bit more in the tank? Thomas Buter will start his final lap. Simon Klink will just be behind him to go again. So we are on board with Simon Klink. He will not be the first driver to the line. We do have Marcel Fuchs. He's going to get ready for one more run. 3.5 minutes to go. Emmanuel, it's Qatar next week. I'm not sure if that's another DLC track. These are the first DLC tracks that we've actually run on the game, to be honest. And I think that's why we've got a few less drivers this week, which is obviously expected when you bring a DLC pack in. Josh Harper-Jones getting ready for another run as well. So, in the All Blacks, here in the south of France, and Richard will go for another run, the Slovakian driver, giving it one more hoorah. And then the number 4 of Lucas Ryczinski will also get to the line for another run. The number 6 of Thomas Buter, 4 tenths down, and then Simon Klink, who is improving, so we are watching Simon Klink on board with him. He is 3.5 seconds up on his lap time. Let's see what Simon can do. Can he put on a show on his debut? As he comes out of the final corner down towards the line. This is going to be massive for Simon Klink. To the line he goes. And Simon, I don't know what happened to the timings there. We know that they're quite well off at the moment. So I'm not sure what happened, but it says he didn't improve. Marcel Fuchs is half a second up. And you can hear the sound of the engines, the roar of them engines. So we go down to the last drivers. Richard will come to the line with a minute to go. But it is Lucas Ryczinski that is trying to improve. He's currently in P4 for the end of this hypercar qualifying here in Formula 7 racing. He's 1.5 tenths up, which will put him in front of Richard, potentially in front of Josh Harper-Jones as he comes out of the final corner with that overtake. Leukemia draped over the hypercar. Down to the line he goes, and he's going to go in front of Richard. Lucas Ryczinski takes P3, but now comes Simon Klink to the line. Where is he going to put it? He's currently in P8 and he goes P5. Mika will get to the line with 20 seconds to go. Josh Harper-Jones is currently in the red. Can he get in the green? And the AERT driver of Josh with the AERT livery, with the All Blacks, and he is going to come through turn 12 and 13, and he is now tinkering in the green out of the final chicane, hugging the apex, and Josh Harper-Jones back onto the throttle. He's going to improve, but it's not going to be enough to catch Ryan Clemenson. Richard will be next. He is not improving. That is qualifying over for Richard. What about Lucas? And he slid it. Lucas is off. What about Simon Klink? He is also finding even more He's starting to familiarise himself with this beautiful circuit, this free-flowing circuit. And if he finds 7 tenths, he might even go in front of Richard. I'm not sure he'll find it now, though. Into turn 12 and 13. And then it's a short run up to the line for Simon Klink. And then Micah will be next. So that is a massive improvement by Simon, because Micah was going to improve as well, and that might have taken his position away from him, but not anymore, as he loses it all through the final couple of corners. Micah will stay P6. Qualifying over here in France. Ryan Clemenson takes pole in the hypercars, and Mael Castro takes pole in the GT3s. Remember, our multi-class events are nearly coming to an end, and it is all going to be run away from SimGrid from next season. This is a trial run actually tonight, because this is not being run through SimGrid tonight. It's being run through Race Control, and then we're going to upload the stats and the standings to RLT afterwards. So this is a trial run. What's going on, MB? What do you mean in events like this, Ollie? So we are getting ready to go racing.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
So the drivers getting ready to go racing. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't buy Race Control Pro. Look at these two raring to go side by side on the track. The two GT3 drivers of Mael Castro and Noah Schaefer. Then you've got Arnie Brandhorst and Macau Hotch behind. Kevin Estray in P5. Alongside him is Arthur Woods. Look how good them look. Richard Hubler and then Alexandra Girot in the Lexus. Jamie Brass and Marco Roesit. Tim Schaap and Marin Kitagawa go wheel to wheel. And then Marek Odlos at the back in that Ferrari waiting to go. It is Ryan Clemenson that will lead us underway with Josh Harper-Jones, who had a great scrap last week. Lucas Roginski and Richard will start on the second row. Simon Klink and Micah on the third row. And then Thomas Buter and Marcel Fuchs on the fourth row. Here we go. It is lights, camera, action here in Formula 7 racing. I love the way the camera shakes like it's a real camera, just watching the racing as they all come round. The engines are roaring, the heat escaping from the track, the fans are cheering, and here we go. And you can feel it. I've got both earphones in and I can feel it, I can hear it as the hypercar drivers are just in front of the GT3 drivers, getting ready to go racing as we go up towards turn 12. Who is going to get the better start of these drivers around turn 12 and down in towards 13? Then we'll have a short run up towards the line. Get your perfect race setup at simracingsetups.com that power Formula 7 racing for round 6 here in France at the Paul Ricard circuit.
Green flag.
And we go racing. Green lights. And look at that start from Josh Harper-Jones. What an incredible start to this race. And Josh is already in front of Ryan Clemenson. They're going wheel to wheel down towards turn 1. And that is a driver off, and that is Lucas Rajinski that goes smashing into the barriers. Mael Castro and Noah Schaefer as they hug the apex. Here comes Arnie Brandhorst that will look for a move. Kevin Estrades off the track. He comes back on in front of Macau Hodge. And a little bit of drama at the start of this French Grand Prix. You can see the billboards in the distance. Ryan Clemenson is behind Josh Harper-Jones. And that is Simon Klink that is off the track, and the hypercar driver having a little bit of drama once again. But the GT3 drivers are all really close. Here comes Marek on the back of Tim Sharp. And we come down this long straight. Here comes Arnie Brandhorst all over the back of Noah Schaefer. He'll move to the right hand side. And Arnie Brandhorst looking for the overtakers to go down towards turn 8. He'll have the inside line to take P2 on the opening lap. Simon Klink is going to have to make a recovery drive from here. So Ryan Clemenson is behind Josh Harper-Jones. What about Arthur Woods looking for a way through on Jamie Brass with that Scottish flag flying on the rear? And he is through. What an overtake that is from Arthur Woods. Can Jamie Brass respond to the Porsche driver? He gets the better exit. Down towards turn 12 we go. A little bit later on the brakes goes Arthur Woods. Jamie Brass looking for a way through. And now they have Richard Hubler. Alexandra Girot is through. And side by side with Marco Roesi. Marco Roesi is holding on. And Alexandra Girot will settle back into P2. Ryan Clemenson is all over Josh Harper-Jones, who still leads. Noah Schaefer is now trying to take that position back off Arnie Brandhorst, as they do have a little coming together. Arnie trying to stay in P2, but he's having to give up the position on this occasion. What a camera angle. What amazing racing here at the Paul Ricard circuit. Arthur Woods as well on the back of Macau Hodge. Ryan Clemenson stays in P2, but he's got this long straight to contend with. But Josh Harper-Jones does enough. Alexandra Girot on the back of Marco Roesi. And Arnie Brandhorst on Noah Schaefer. It is deja vu as we go down towards turn 8, except this time it's going to go the long way round. One up the inside, one up the outside. Thank you, Brandhorst. Brilliant overtake. What about Alexandra Girot? And that is round Jamie Brass. And he's coming back on track. Wow, that was close. Jamie Brass. And I think that might have caught Marco Roesi out, as Alexandra goes around the outside, and the Lexus with a smooth move. Marco up to P8. The thundering sounds of the engine shaking the camera. And it is Josh Harper-Jones. Ryan Clemenson has made a mistake. He is round as well. And the championship leader struggling here in France. Wow, wow, wow. Josh Harper-Jones now 2.5 seconds clear of Richard. Marco Roesi on the back of Alexandra Girot, who got a free pass. And Micah on Thomas Buter. So Micah will chase down the Slovakian of Thomas. The Titan Core Racing driver. Looking like a Viking in that hypercar, the Peugeot. And here comes Kevin Estre on Marek. And the Ferrari driver can only defend so much as the BMW M4 moves over to the left-hand side and goes in front. Kevin Estre with the overtake. And here comes Micah on Thomas Buter. He is closing the gap out of turn 13. Back onto the throttle we go. And he's getting ever so closer. So is Marek as well. Look at this. He is not giving up with this. He wants the overtake back. And he wants that position. He's not ready to sacrifice it just yet. Lucas Rajinski is still going on. Marcel Fuchs has retired in the pit lane. Marin Kitagawa continues to plod along. And it's still good experience. Here comes Arthur Woods on Richard Hubler. He'll look for a way through. Richard covers off the inside line. Arthur Woods will have to go around the outside. And that is good defending from Richard Hubler. And up the inside goes Arthur Woods. Wheel to wheel they go and Arthur is through. Richard Hubler back into the slipstream of the Porsche driver. Can the Ferrari respond? But here comes Alexandra Girot. Are they going to go 3 wide down in towards turn 1? The Porsche driver with the Ferrari on his tail. The Lexus is closing around turn 2 and 3. And here comes the Lexus, and you can see Marco Roesi in the distance. He wants a piece of the action as well. Marco Roesi, the Porsche driver. Here comes Ryan Clemenson. He is caught up to Thomas Buter, who has been overtaken by Micah. And Ryan will be coming back with a vengeance now. And he's got to time this overtake perfectly. He does not want to get caught up. And back onto the throttle. That is a brilliant exit out of the final chicane. And Ryan Clemenson moves out to the right-hand side. Nothing Thomas Buter can do about that. And the championship leader is back into P4. And Micah is next on the hit list. P2 as a drive-through. Let me remove that. Bear with me. I don't know why that is. Who's P2? Arnie. Is it Arnie? Yeah, cheers, Dan. I've removed it. And that is Josh Harper-Jones and the number 8 of Marco Roesi. And is he into the pit lane? No, he's down the pit straight. Marco Roesi and Alexandra Girot going toe to toe. And look at that, Richard Hubler as well, who has been and overtaken Kevin Estre. Marek is starting to catch up with that Titan Core Racing livery. Noah Schaefer still within touching distance of Arnie, and we have taken his drive-through away. I can't see what penalties they get, to be honest. Yeah. So, we have seen some great racing here, you know. And Ryan Clemenson has lost a little bit more time, and I do wonder what has happened there. Marco Roesi in P9, and he can see Kevin Estre in front of him. And the BMW driver, does he have damage? He seems to be shaking a little bit. And Marek is just in the distance, but Marco Roesi in that Porsche is starting to catch up to the BMW driver. Alexandra Girot is only 3/10 behind Richard Hubler. And out of turn 13 they go. They can see Arthur Woods in the distance. Here we go. Alexandra Girot into the slipstream of Richard Hubler. The Ferrari will try to hold position, but can he keep it? Alexandra might run out of track before he gets the overtake. He will go for the inside, then the outside. And the Lexus sweeps around, but the Ferrari holds on. And Alexandra, and that is a driver off the track. Was that a Porsche? No, that was Arthur Woods. Alexandra still behind the Ferrari, and now they are piling up behind to take their shot. And the hypercar drivers are now starting to build a gap. Lucas Rzyński and Micah, look at these two. They are going racing. Kevin Estre. And I tell you what, Richard Hubler is doing a fantastic job here. He is really defending this position and he's queuing them up behind. What is your thoughts on the M&M livery? Which one's that one, Marcus? Here comes Kevin Estre. 1/10 and 2/10 around turn 8. Noah is only half a second behind Arnie. And Simon Klink catching up to Thomas Buter. You can see him in the distance. I am making one. I've not seen it, mate. And here comes Marco Roesi. Backs out. That was a smart thing to do for Marco. He don't want to chuck it all away now. But he is all over Kevin Estre like a rash. And Ryan Clemenson is into the pit lane. The championship leader is into the pits and onto fresh tyres after 12 minutes of racing. And it has been overtaken by Noah Schaefer. Noah Schaefer is up to P2. What about Alexandra Girot? Look at them. They are queuing up behind this Ferrari. This is going to be another opportunity. Ryan Clemenson makes light work of all the GT3s. We go on board with Alexandra as we go through turn 1 and 2. He hugs the apex. Simon Klink on the back of Thomas Buter. This might be his opportunity as we come down the pit straight. He's closing and closing, but he might run out of track. He does. Oh, and he's round. Simon Klink is round. And into the barrier goes the hypercar driver of Simon Klink. What happened there? I don't know what happened. Drama. So Marco Roesi and Kevin Estre are battling it out all the way down to turn 8. Who has got the straight line speed? Marco Roesi has got his nose ahead, and the BMW will slot in behind the Porsche, and you can just see the snap there as he goes on the apex. But they have lost so much time to Richard Hubler, who did a great job at sort of dealing with the pressure of the drivers behind. Did a great job. So Arnie is now down to P3. All the hypercar drivers well spread out. It is all GT3 action here this evening. So sorry guys, bear with me. There we go, he lost his rear, he did. So Jamie Brass is into the pit lane with that F7R logo on the roof. That's what we want to see. Get a little screenshot of that. Oh, that's not even the screenshot. What the hell? Ooh, it's horrible. So the drivers, Arnie, and that is Marek. Marek with Kevin Estre. Oh no, is that Alexandra Girot? Yeah, Alexandra in the Lexus. My apologies. So and look at this racing. Close racing again from Marek and Alexandra. This is what the fans came to see. They are getting the action here tonight. Definitely getting their money's worth here in round 6. Oh really, Emmanuel? That's interesting. So a little bit of insider information. So the gaps are quite spread out with the hypercars. The GT3s are a little bit closer, so we can't really get some action for the hypercars. But a big shout out to Josh Harper-Jones, who's doing a phenomenal job here. A really good job. And then Kevin Estray. Oh, Kevin Estray's rounding into the wall. Just as we went on board with him. And I tell you what, Kevin did a fabulous job at navigating around that action and around that collision. That could have ended in tears. Marco Roesi as well had to have cat-like reflexes, showing their racing skill there. And now you've got Kevin Estray on the back of Marco Roesi as they come down this long straight towards turn 8. Kevin will move to the right, the Porsche driver to the left, and he's closing and closing, and he will have the inside of turn 8, and that's what he was hoping for. And the BMW driver edges his nose ahead, and Kevin Estray is back to P7, but not for long. Marco Roesi is not giving this up. He'll try and swing it back up the inside, but that is a good move from Kevin. And look at this, Marco Roesi, he's still there, putting on the pressure. So, we have seen some really good racing this evening. I mean, the opening 18 minutes have been action-packed. Oh really, Emmanuel? So the gaps have really opened up. Ryan Clemenson will carry on. So will Lucas Rudzinski, and he's going fighting with one of the drivers at the front, and they are just having a little bit of fun out there now. Lucas Rudzinski with the overtake, and I think that might be Simon Klink. It is, and these two, even though they're on different laps, they're having a little battle with each other, enjoying themselves out on track. So the gaps have quite spread out now. And even the GT3 cars are quite spread out. So the closest driver is Kevin Estray to Marco Roesi. Andy with the boxer go. And you can see Kevin Estray now closing up on Marco Roesi. Mael Castro 6 seconds in the lead. What a drive from Mael Castro again. He's actually catching up to Tim Schaap here. But another great display. Jamie Brass into the pit lane and back out in that BMW. Why does Richard have a penalty? I don't know, mate. What penalty is it? I'll remove it. What penalty is it? And Jamie Brass there getting a bit of airtime, flashing his lights. Yeah, if you let me know what penalty Richard's got, I can remove it from my end. So we are calming down a little bit in the race now. We can take a bit of a breather as we are nearly halfway through. I hope you've enjoyed the action so far here in F7. It's been an incredible season. Our Formula 1 tears came to an end over the weekend. Oh, he's round. Kevin Estre goes drifting like it's 2008 in the middle of Tokyo. Wow. And he held on to that. Holy save. And he is P2. He is indeed, and it. MB, I was going to have a chat to you about that, to be honest, mate. But yeah, that's good news. But yeah, it's been a good racing so far. But yes, our F1 tiers ended over the weekend, and as you all know, our F1 tiers are really successful. And look at this! Wow! I'm not even going to commentate on this. Just take a minute to watch these two. Ah, oh, it's gorgeous! Kevin Estre and Alexandra Girot putting on a show for the fans. My goodness me! But yes, sorry, let me get to where I was at. So yeah, our tiers, F1 tiers ended over the weekend. 19, 20 races we had, 5 months of racing. And now we, at the end of the month, we start to send out real trophies to our champions. And during the 4-week break that we've got before the new season, is time that we can really double down on our LMU tiers and our ACC tiers. Because LMU, it's been hugely successful, but we've not yet fully taken it away from SimGrid, which we want to do. We have a safety car coming in for next season, a manual safety car, and obviously we are taking all the data and putting it on RLT the same way we get our data for Formula 1. So much stats, so much information that we can use. And we are testing that tonight by using race control instead of SimGrid to do the lobby, and it's working really well. Yes, a safety car. And yes, MB, that is what I'm hoping for as well. We've got a really good commentator. I am looking at doing a second ACC tier because we've got a full-time ACC commentator, but that's sort of down the line, but we'll see. We've had a lot of drivers join recently who've took the ACC role, so I'm hoping that it'll just be like LMU, where we just open up the lobby and loads of drivers join, but we need to sort of tighten up the attendance to know who's full-time and not. Yeah, BMW also almost snapped there. So Simon Klink on the back of that is Thomas Buter in the distance. Simon Klink is racing with somebody there. Where can I get the ACC role? Just literally, there's a channel in the Discord that says get roles or something like that, and you can just click a button in there and you'll get the ACC role. We have an ACC race on Friday. The thing is about ACC is when attendance is poor, it's not like LMU. LMU costs like £1 a race. ACC is like 11 quid, so it's really frustrating when attendants don't pick up. And look at this, Simon Klink and these two are going at it. They're on separate laps, but that is not stopping Lucas Radzinski and Simon Klink from going toe to toe. And wheel to wheel once again. Lucas Radzinski is staying in front. But yeah, ACC is really popular still. I mean, Jarno's playing it tonight. Jarno Watman. And look at this again. Simon Klink into the slipstream of Lucas Radzinski. I don't know, Dan. Who's got a penalty now? Because I can't see any of this. I think you know what it might be, Dan? Because we're running the server through race control for the first time instead of SimGrid, the settings might be different for track limits. The settings might be different. So that might be what it is. So yeah, that might be why. And Ryan Clemenson just going to move through on Noah Schaefer. Easily done. How are we all anyway? How are we all doing? So, 28 minutes down, 32 to go. It's enjoyable, you know, when you're doing something different. Like I did commentary for 2 F1 races last night. And then you move on to LMU on a Monday, and then back to F1 on a Wednesday, and then ACC on a Friday. And we've got that we've got the Titan Endurance Racing Series coming up as well with MSC. That's going to be massive. 75 drivers, 25 teams of 3. We've got 2 endurance teams in there as well. So that's going to be massive. 6 hours of Silverstone, I think the first race is. Something like that. So that's going to be huge. I will be participating in the comms for that. MB, no, I haven't really, to be honest. I would potentially race in ACC actually, just to try something different. In fact, with us having an ACC commentator, I might actually try it. But I'm always busy collecting data or clipping the race for like content on social media and stuff like that. So the racing has sort of burned out at the minute, but it's still, the drivers have got to, you've got to stay so concentrated around here. Yeah, MB, that'd be good. We are working, MB, mate. I cannot wait. So, into the pit lane goes Simon Klink. So, we are working with somebody at the moment for setups. And we're going to start posting our own setups on YouTube. Free to everybody for everything. ACC, LMU, F1. We're going to start posting our own setups to everybody. for free because we get paid through adverts from YouTube. So we're just going to put them out there for free. I am paying somebody though to get the setups, but then once they're out there, they're out there. But if anybody wants to help with that, you know, if you've got a good setup for a certain track, send it over. I'll tag you in it and I'll put it on social media. I'll put it on YouTube. But I just think to myself, you've got all these places like SRS and Sim Center and AS Setups and whatever it might be. There's loads of these setup pages where you've got to pay $19.99 and $29.99 and $8.99 subscription or whatever it might be. But what if I just pay somebody to give us a load of mint setups for all of our 900 and odd drivers, and just go, and for anybody else as well, and just go, there you go, all free on YouTube, and every time somebody watches it, we get paid anyway. So it's like we give them out for free, but we still make revenue off the videos. So that's what I'm thinking in my head. And my missus said to me, yeah, just pay somebody to build us a setups. So pay for somebody to come in, build all ACC setups, all LMU setups, all F1 setups, post them all on playlists on the YouTube channel, and just leave them on there. Yeah, so hopefully they work well for everybody. So we'll see. I'm just waiting for sort of some F1 26 ones, but I really want to get straight into some ACC ones. But I just got to wait for some. It's going to take, it'll probably be about a month, 4 weeks to get quite a few of them uploaded. So what I'm going to do is upload them, but then hide them, and then when they're all ready, start sort of making more public. We used to do it. We used to do it in 2024. We used to post F1 and F2 setups, and they used to do really well. People used to come for their F2 setups or F1 setups to Formula 7 on YouTube. So I just want to get back into that, but proper professional setups. You're driving next season, Nathan. In F1 I am, yeah, in F1 I am. So Ryan Clemenson is now starting to catch back up. He's in P5, 27 minutes to go. Yeah, exactly, MB. If we can get some really good ones. I'm in the Racing Bull in Tier 3, Emmanuel. I was going to race in Tier 4, but because we need a Tier 4 commentator, I'm gonna stay in Tier 3 and race in the Racing Bull. So around the outside goes Ryan Clemenson. And Jamie Brass is on the back of Tim Shapp. These two have had a couple of coming together over the weeks. And here comes Thomas Buter, and they'll both have to move out of the way. And Jamie Brass, with that blue flag waving, is not getting the message. And still he battles on, and Richard will not be happy about that one. But there he goes. Jamie will not be happy that he's lost a bit of time to Tim Shapp, as these two are not very friendly to each other when they come on track. Yeah, MB, I was looking at that, but then I would try and do that, but then I'm thinking, will everybody sort of be ready at 9:45 on a Sunday morning? Well, I suppose they'll have to be. There's a lot of time changes next season due to the real F1 though, especially with Tier 2 and Tier 4. I'm just wondering about Tier 4, what do we do with it? Everybody's voted to keep it at the same time though. I always wake up and turn the computer on about 8:30 on a Sunday anyway, so it wouldn't bother me. Tim Shapp is through. Jamie is closing up. 8 tenths is the gap. What about the hypercars? Here comes Thomas Buter. He's catching up to Mike. Is he in the pit lane? He is in the pit lane. So Thomas Buter will move on through. Arthur Woods and Kevin Estray on Simon Klink. But we now move back to Jamie Brass and Tim Shapp. Yeah, that's true, MB. That's true. Oh, and that was close. Wow. That was one of the hypercar drivers going through. Yeah, it will be interesting, Emmanuel. So Tim Sharp spun around and lost a load of time. So Jamie didn't even get the opportunity to get the overtake on him. Is that? I was looking down at my phone. I didn't even see it. I was looking down on my phone because I've just sent a clip to TikTok. So I was just trying to render it, and I didn't even see it. Josh Harper-Jones, 15 seconds clear. Manual, I've absolutely bottled it. What's happened, Ollie? What's happened? Jesus. It's just one of them tracks, mate. So Kevin Estre 3.5 seconds behind Alexandra. 23 minutes to go. Uh, 10 seconds because of Rossi P7. Yeah, Rossi was a bit of a nightmare on track, to be honest. Good driver, but very lungy. Arthur Woods being overtaken by Simon Klink in the hypercar. Will this give an opportunity, though, to Arthur Woods? And Arthur Woods is battling Jamie Brass here. And then blue flags waving, but he's not fussed. And up the inside goes Josh Harper-Jones, and the race leader will not want to get caught up in this too much. He's 16 seconds clear. He does not want to take the risk, and that's what he's doing. He's just taking it very cautiously. And through is Josh Harper-Jones. And the rest of the grid is really far out. Marion Kitagawa calls it a day. Tim Sharp is still there. Jamie Brass. And Noah Schaefer, 2 seconds behind Arnie Brandhorst. So this is where Noah Schaefer has to start to bridge that gap. 21 minutes to go. And he doesn't want to leave this too late. This is where the tyres start to fall off and pit stops come into play. And the hypercar goes, wow, that was close. Lucas Roginski up the inside of Noah Schaefer. And that did cost him a little bit of time. That was really close. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to grab a drink a second. So Noah Schaefer 1.6 behind Arnie Brandhorst now. Starting to close up. And the hypercar drivers, Ryan Clemenson through on Micah. He's up to P4 and he's off the track. And I think that was Mael Castro and Ryan Clemenson. Wow, nearly colliding with the front runners of the GT3 cars. That could have ended in tears for all parties involved. So what about the drivers at the back? There's so many gaps now, like nobody's even close to each other. We've had some great racing. We can't be too greedy. We can't be too greedy. We've had some really good overtakes. And he is closing up 1.5 seconds from Arnie Brandhorst to Noah Schaefer. Look at this, he is closing that gap, 1.4 seconds now. .2, he is really closing up with 16 minutes to go. This could be the opportunity. Oh, and he has a little snap. That would have cost him dearly. So 1.3 is the gap. Noah Schaefer getting closer and closer. I think that Noah Schaefer is going to go for the move very shortly on Arnie Brandhorst. Arnie always seems to struggle at the end with his tyres. But we know how good he is at defending his position. We know... Oh, Jesus. So the gap now 9 tenths. Yeah, you live in the UK too, right? I do live in the UK. No MB lives in Germany. So Ryan Clemenson, it doesn't look like he's getting any closer to Thomas Bute, who's into P3. He's in the podium places in the hypercars. Here's Alexandra Girot. Side by side. Go the Lexus and the BMW. Kevin Estre stays in front. That was close racing. Can Alexandra come back? Show his willingness with 13 minutes of this race remaining. Let's see what he can do. 6 tenths is the gap, but they've got a hypercar catching up to them. And that is Ryan Clemenson. That is just going to cause a little bit of drama for them, as he has to just navigate around these two drivers fighting for position. And look at this again. He's going to go for it. Alexandra Girot. Up the inside goes the Lexus. And he riding the apex. And these two drivers who know each other, they're racing in similar liveries for the same team. So they'll know exactly how each other race. The respect will be there. Alexandra goes up the inside, but Kevin defends. And here comes... who is that? Lucas Rajinski. Sorry, Lucas Rajinski. And Alexandra up the inside. Kevin is behind. Kevin Estre in the BMW slots in behind. And then the other hypercar driver goes through. So Alexandra, 3 tenths is the gap in front now. Look at this for racing. These two going at it again. They've gone at it a few times tonight. And side by side, Alexandra going a little bit deep. This might open up the door. Kevin Estre looking for a way through. Magnificent battling between the pair of them once again. And Kevin Estre trying to get the better exit. And then here comes the long straight. This should be the overtake that Kevin Estre is looking for. Into the slipstream. The hypercar bringing out the yellow flag in front. But that will not make a difference to these guys. As Kevin Estre, with that little bit of extra pace as they go down towards turn 4. He'll have to take the outside line. Alexandra will send him the long way round. Can Kevin cling on to the outside line? He can, but the Lexus is there. Not a thing to separate them. Alexandra backs out and then back up the inside he goes. What an awesome battle we've got here. Alexandra and Kevin putting on a motorsporting display of racing. Alexandra back in front of Kevin, but for how long? Kevin gets the better exit. As we head down towards turn 12. Into the left-hander. Kevin looking for a way through. Alexandra defends. And it is the Lexus that stays ahead. Richard is currently in P2. And into the pit lane goes Richard. Into the pit lane. Here comes Kevin once more on Alexandra. What an awesome battle. And Kevin again now. Is he going to go for that move up the inside? He absolutely is. Over the apex. Side by side. Having to back out again. This is incredible. Once again. The Lexus and the BMW. And Lucas Rajinski is going to come and join the action for a brief second as they both get waved them blue flags down the long straight. And it is now Kevin that gets his nose ahead of Alexandra. Alexandra will go back into the slipstream. Very clever. as he moves back for the inside. The race IQ of these drivers is phenomenal. And it is once again Kevin and Alexandra. The fans are cheering, the engines are roaring as Alexandra goes back up the inside of Kevin Estre. The Lexus prevails once again. But for how long? As Kevin Estre in that BMW back up the inside, they do touch briefly. Look at this. Kevin Estre, and that is Alexandra that goes off the track. Kevin Estre pounces. And that is Alexandra that is pulling off, and into the pit lane he goes. Well, that gave us some action to end with, didn't it? So, hypercars, where are we? The gaps are so huge. Richard is in P2. Thomas Buter is on for a podium in P3. He's got a red flag, though. What is a red flag? Is that a penalty? Do we need to take that away? My El Castro, and that is Noah Schaefer. Look at this. Arnie and Noah Schaefer. We said it was going to happen. 6 minutes to go. And Noah Schaefer is finally in front of Arnie. Can Arnie come back at him? He'll get the slipstream all the way down towards turn 8. And the Porsche driver is coming back at Noah Schaefer. And look at this, there's a back marker there as well. Will he get involved? The Lexus, the Porsche up the inside. Noah Schaefer is braver on the brakes. 6 minutes to go, and Noah is finally into P2. So he finally gets there. Jesus, dog. Yeah, so he goes into the pit lane. You're right, Emmanuel. Jamie Ross and Tim Sharp. And the gaps have opened up with 4.5 minutes to go. And that might be all the action that we see today. I mean, we can't really ask for any more, can we? We've really been in for a treat tonight. Sorry guys, the neighbours' dogs are barking. So that is it. Everybody is quite spread out. There's nobody that's close. Potentially Kevin Estray's Richard. He's run out of fuel. Richard Hubler's run out of fuel. Or he's got a puncher, one of the two. You know what? That might be a puncher. I can't tell. He's died. His car's died. He's trying to creep back to the pit lane. I wonder if he'll get in. I wonder if we'll get another driver giving him a little push. Incredible. Richard Hubler is literally creeping to the pit lane. Look at this. Everyone else is spread out. And just a little bit of acknowledgement here for Josh Harper-Jones. A fabulous drive in that hypercar. It's not easy to do, to stay concentrated for this long. Some people think that it's easier when you're at the front. And sometimes it's a lot harder. Because you're racing nobody. And you've just got to stay concentrated whilst not really being involved in the action. So take my hat off to Noah, to Josh Harper-Jones here. Really good racing. A minute and a half to go. I have Qatar. Oh, you have Qatar. What do you race on? I thought you was on Xbox, Emmanuel. Oh no, you must be on PC. Yeah, come and race next week, mate. Come and race. Oh, Mael's in the pits. Arnie Brandhurst is going to win this race. Did Mael Castro get a drive-through penalty? That is my fault. Well, it's not my fault, it's still Robbie's fault. But did he get a drive-through? I didn't know he had a drive-through. So he might have to be put back into the lead there. So Mael, who's dominated throughout the race. Oh, fuel. Wow. So Arnie Brandhurst is on the final lap of this race. And he's done what he needed to do. Here we go. So Arnie Brandhurst is going to take it. Incredible. Arnie has been fuel saving. Wow, it looks that way, mate, yeah. So Josh Harper-Jones is on the final lap as well. So this is it. The checkered flag is out. Arnie Brandhurst. I hope he don't run out of fuel. Yeah, exactly, MB. Oh, he is running out of fuel. He is running out of fuel. Mael Castro is going to take it back off him. And I bet you don't push him through the line. Wow. And Arnie Brandhurst is going to run out of fuel. With literally a couple of corners to go. He can see the line. There's the checkered flag. And Mael Castro is going to come through. They're racing to the line. Arnie is coming. Mael is coming. Arnie creeps to the line with no fuel. So does Mael Castro. What an end to the race. Josh Harper-Jones wins in the hypercar. Arnie Brandhurst wins in the GT3 car. What a multi-class race that was. And we had action all the way to the end, quite literally. as Arnie Brandhorst does some donuts. And Ryan Clemenson, I think that might be it. I think Ryan Clemenson is your Hypercar World Champion for Series 2. And he'll do some donuts. And Ryan Clemenson for Series 2 of your multi-class Formula 7 racing. Ryan Clemenson is your Hypercar World Champion. And well done to Arnie Brandhorst. He could potentially be the GT3 champion. We'll have to double check that. But yeah, thank you all so much, guys. What a race. That was so good. That was so good to watch. So, sometimes it's hard when you're doing ACC or LMU. I'm a race next week. Yeah, I look forward to it, Emmanuel. But there you have it. We'll get the data from Race Control and we'll publish it to RLT. We'll get the stats and everything. Yeah, MB, that'd be good. Can you post me and Kevin's battle? Forzy, I will try, mate. I have posted some battles. I think that might be one of them, but I only clip it for a minute long and your battle went on for quite a while. So I will try and see what I can post. One second, guys. I'm just seeing if I can post that battle. So there we have it, guys. Yeah, hopefully Forzies. Hopefully you can click the stream replay as well, Nathan. Perfect, no problem. So there you have it, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. It's been an absolute blast. It's been a pleasure. We go to our final race of our LMU multi-class event next week in Qatar. It's been so good. Thank you all so much for your continued support. It's been a lot better than I ever thought it could be. We've always put so much effort into any series that we do. So for LMU to be as good as it has been is a credit to you guys, the drivers, and also the team and Ryan as well. So yeah, thank you all so much, guys. Have an amazing week. I will see you for ACC on Friday. Take care and have a great week, and I will see you on the next one. Have a great week, everybody.